I told my girlfriend she's not worth marrying after she said she didn't like her engagement ring, so I'd been dating Ashley for 3 years. We met at work, started hanging out after shifts at this diner we both worked at, and eventually moved in together. Things were good. Not perfect, but good enough that I thought we could make it work long term. I'd been saving up for a ring for like 8 months. I'm not rich. I work at an auto shop and she's still at that same diner. Between rent and bills and her car breaking down twice, it took forever to get enough money together. I finally had about $2,000 saved up and went to this jewelry store downtown. The guy there showed me a bunch of options. I picked out this white gold ring with a small diamond. It wasn't huge, but it was real and it was clean, and honestly, I thought it looked nice. The jeweler said it was a solid choice for the budget. I was proud of it. I planned this whole thing at the park where we had our first date, got her favorite takeout, set up a blanket, waited until sunset. When I got down on one knee, she started crying. She said yes. I put the ring on her finger and we hugged, and I genuinely thought that was one of the best moments of my life. We got back to the apartment and she kept looking at her hand. At first I thought she was just admiring it. Then she got quiet, really quiet. I asked if everything was okay and she just shrugged. Finally, she was like, "Can I be honest with you?" I said sure, thinking maybe she was nervous about wedding planning or telling her parents or something. She held up her hand and went, "It's just, the ring is kind of small. Like, I know you tried, but I was expecting something bigger. My friend Christy got engaged last month and her ring is huge. This one just looks cheap." I literally froze. I didn't know what to say. I asked her if she was serious and she doubled down. She said she appreciated the effort, but she'd been dreaming about her engagement ring since she was a kid, and this wasn't it. She even suggested we could return it and I could save up more and get a better one later. That's when something in me just snapped. I looked at her and said, "You know what? You're not worth marrying." Her face went completely blank. She asked me what I just said and I repeated it. I told her that if the first thing she does after getting engaged is complain about the ring, then clearly she cares more about showing off to her friends than actually marrying me. I said I spent 8 months saving every extra dollar I had, and she couldn't even pretend to be grateful for one night. She started yelling, saying I was being cruel and that she was just being honest. I told her honesty doesn't mean you get to be ungrateful. She called me cheap and said maybe if I had a better job I could afford a real ring. That one hurt. I took the ring box from the table and told her the engagement was off. She laughed like I was joking. When she realized I wasn't, she started crying and saying I was overreacting. I grabbed my keys and left. Stayed at my buddy Owen's place that night. The next day, I went back to the apartment when I knew she'd be at work and grabbed my stuff. I left the ring on the kitchen counter with a note that just said, "Return it yourself." Crashed at Owen's for 2 weeks until I found a new place. Ashley blew up my phone for days. First, she was apologizing, then she was angry, then back to apologizing. Her mom even called me saying I was throwing away 3 years over something stupid. I blocked all of them. I returned the ring myself a week later and got most of my money back. The jeweler could tell something went wrong but didn't ask questions. I used the money to pay off my credit card and put the rest toward my new apartment deposit.